What's going on, guys? How you doing today? Welcome back to Reload Crypto. Today we're going to be diving in to yield farming and DeFi. You may think you know DeFi and yield farming, but do you really know DeFi and yield farming? Do you really have a full grasp on the capabilities and the possibilities that opened up from having your finances on chain, from saying goodbye to the corrupt banks, and taking things into your own hands? Let's go ahead and dive in. You guys are going to love this video, and this is something that I'm real passionate about, so I'm really glad to bring it here to you. All right, so here's where we're going to get started. You know, when it comes to DeFi, the best place to kind of dive in and to get your bearings is here on DeFi Llama. So you may be familiar with DeFi Llama. You may have heard me speak about it before. You may have seen it in other videos. But this is where you can really get a lot of information aggregated together here. So if you see over here on this sidebar, you can go to chains, you can look at top protocols, and you can see yields down here. So typically a good place to go, you can go right here to yields. And once you're on this page, you can go through here and see all the opportunities. So here you can see the asset that you'll be getting yield on. This is where you can see the project. It'll tell you if there's an airdrop capability for that project. And then, of course, the TVL, the chain, the APY, and this APY can include incentives from the protocol and whatnot. That's why they also have the base APY over here as well. So, and then, of course, reward APYs over here, which sometimes you can get rewards from different protocols as well. And basically, they have a whole host of information on the APYs along this side here. So basically, you can come here. This is where you can go up here to the filters and decide, you know, what asset you want to find some yield farming possibilities on. Let's do USDC. And then you, of course, can set any number of filters over here as well. And this will open you up to, you know, all this information here and all these different applications. Let's move over to the stablecoin specific page here. If you go to the side here, once you're in yields, you could see stablecoin pools as well as several other options. And then once you're in here, you can look at, obviously, you know, without having to use filters, since there's so many different types of stablecoins, your now opportunity is here to see all these different stablecoin yield farming possibilities. So, you know, for me, yield farming, I like to use stablecoins. You know, there's no volatility risk. There's no real risk at all. I mean, there is a little bit of, you know, obviously smart contract risk. It's never zero risk, but the risk is extremely low to the point where I don't even consider it to be risk. So let's go ahead and look at some apps here that are good for DeFi. So this is Convex. Convex is kind of an aggregation app that provides opportunities for apps like Prisma Finance. As you can see here, their VAPR, it's a variable APR rate, currently at 95% APY for different, you know, pairs of assets here: EUSD, MKUSD, ETH, MKUSD, and you can see the asset APRs here as well. Now, these APRs are going to change day to day depending on the trading activity in the pools, the liquidity in the pools. It can change. So, you know, this is just one of many places where you can see some information there. So Convex is one that you can check out. Now let's go over to Balancer. So Balancer is a DeFi liquidity protocol that also has DeFi liquidity pools. So the idea with Balancer is to help assets stay pegged to whatever they're supposed to be pegged to. And that's kind of the purpose of the protocol, thus the name Balancer. So here with the pools, you could see pool value. This is the TVL in the pool, and then the volume. Over here, you can see the rewards, and obviously these are all the tokens here as well. Now, this is also a multi-chain protocol. Ethereum, Optimism, a couple different chains here: Arbitrum, Avalanche, Base, and then their APRs are broken up between the staking APR, boosted APR from the protocol, and then swap fees. So got to be careful with Balancer. I'm not a huge fan of Balancer, but this is one that you can use because some of these, you know, different pools, it's going to tell you the APR of the asset in the pool itself, the staking asset, which can be confusing because now you're thinking that that's more that you're going to get. And And there is some boost in the APR that you're going to get on some of these staked assets. As you can see, boosted APR 1.7, and that's specifically on those assets in the pool. And then, of course, swap fees. That's the one that I really would be looking for, is swap fees, and a high percentage on swap fees in these ETH pools anyway. So anyway, I don't have any assets in Balancer currently. Like I said, I like to stick with stable coins, but if you're using liquid staking tokens or liquid restaking tokens, it's essentially the same thing as using stable coins, because the value is not going to differ too much between each token, so there's no risk of impermanent loss, or not as much of risk. Here's another protocol. This is Morpho Blue. So Morpho essentially is a protocol for different DeFi strategies. This is where curators can come on and set a strategy that they're going to use. They say, this is what I'm going to do with it. This is the APY I'll give you. Do you want to jump in with me? So you come in here. You can supply assets, if you'd like to their kind of strategy here. All the information about their strategy is available here, so you can really take a closer look, break it down, and understand, what are the risks involved, and really fully comprehend, what could go wrong. Is it going to go well? Obviously, most of these curators have excellent reputations. They do a bunch of these different vaults constantly, so you can come in here, you can check out, here it'll show you Vault Curator has had less than 200,000 in AUM over a trailing period of 30 days. So this is somebody you might not want to work with. Bunch of information available here on Morpho Blue. That's one that you can use as well. High APYs here for stablecoins, USDC, USDT, and a couple other stablecoins, DAI, and Curve USD as well. You can also borrow against these assets as well. Let's jump over to Pendle. Pendle is one that I have done a video on in the past. I've spoken about before. This is a tokenization protocol for yield. So they tokenize yield from the standpoint that they take the principal token. Let's say you have a staked ETH token, and you deposit into one of their pools here on Earn. So you go to Earn. This is a fixed yield. If you jump into this pool right now for RSW ETH, you're going to get a fixed yield of 23% APY. It's fixed. And they can offer that fixed rate because people are trading the yield. They have YT and PT tokens. That's what they split your token into. And because people are trading the yield, they're funding the fixed rate that you got in at. So then you can trade yield. Obviously, it gets kind of complex. You don't need to do all that. But what I typically do is liquidity pools, again, here on Pendle. So for some of these liquidity pools, for stable coins, for example, you're giving up the yield. For example, SUSDE. This is a staked stablecoin token. So it's basically earning yield all by itself. If I was holding SUSDE in my wallet, we're going to take a closer look at SUSD here in a second. It's earning yield all on its own. But you can opt out of that yield. And essentially this is that split I was talking about. Now I'm earning 27.27% APY on my SUSDE position, but I'm forfeiting the underlying yield from SUSDE, which is currently 17.5% APY. So, it can go against you if the APY raises on SUSDE. It is variable, and it's variable here as well. That's a chance that you take. But essentially, I like using Pendle. I'm comfortable using Pendle, and there are incentives for Athena's airdrop campaign right now for using Pendle. So it's kind of a kill two birds with one stone kind of situation. That being said, most of the pools here are for liquid restaking tokens, as well as some stablecoin tokens as well, and regular just staked ETH tokens. They have obviously on a couple different chains as well, like most of these apps do. I personally don't use anything other than Ethereum mainnet as well as Arbitrum for most of my DeFi activities. Aave, this is one that I've spoken about as well in the past. They also have a whole host of chains that you can access here. Their APYs are going to be not as good as you're going to find on some of these other dApps, and they're also variable, but Aave is a blue chip protocol, so in terms of, I guess, risk, basically non-existent for Aave. There's billions of dollars locked into Aave, so they take their security extremely seriously. That being said, I've recently moved my Aave staked tokens over here to Pendle, like I was telling you before, into this pool on Pendle here for Aave USDC. So I went ahead and opted out of earning what's currently 7.47% APY on USDC on Aave, and now I'm earning 21.65% APY on USDC through Pendle. So there's possibilities that open up, when you really gonna get into the weeds with this. It's not as complicated as it might seem at first. Once you get comfortable in DeFi, once you understand these protocols and kind of how it all works, you can really move in ways that benefit you way more than the banks are going to look to benefit you, and essentially with little to no risk involved whatsoever, especially with stable coins. So here on Arbitrum, as you can see, more pools. Some of these tokens I'm not too sure what they are. HLP, I'm not too sure what that is. MUXLP, not too sure what that is. GLP, I've got no idea, but we're here on Arbitrum, so there are other tokens available here on Arbitrum as well. And then again, we have access to Arbitrum, Optimism, BNB, and Mantle. There's really only pools on Ethereum, Arbitrum, BNB. There's a couple pools on Mantle and Optimism, but only like one or two pools. So ultimately, not much to see there. So Aave, real quick, we've looked at that. Not much else to see there. Now let's jump over to Athena. I know I'm kind of going rapid fire through these, but I want you to see what's out there, the opportunity that exists out there in DeFi. So here on Athena, essentially what it is it's a stablecoin protocol that is not backed by dollars. It's backed by Ethereum as well. They do have some stablecoin reserves, but it's backed mainly by Ethereum, and they use perpetuals markets. I did a video on Athena here on the channel. I'll link it in the YouTube description below. Go check it out if you want to understand Athena better. But here we are on Athena. Their current APY is 17.5% APY on staked USDE. So you come here, you stake it. You can trade out of it on a DEX if you don't want to wait the 7 days when you unstake it. Obviously, you got to take into account exchange rates and the like, but that opportunity is available if you're, not like in the 7-day unstaking. And this again is a variable APY. So when I first got into Athena, it was like 33.5%. And then you can see here on their dashboards, let's see, we go to yields, it'll show you kind of what the yields have been like. So since the markets are down, the yields are kind of going down on SUSDE as well. And the reason for that is they use perpetuals exchanges to run a delta, essentially delta zero portfolio that they can then back these stable coins with. So a lot of information there. Check out the video on my channel about Athena if you want to see more on that. Moving on, this is EtherFi. So EtherFi has obviously regular staked ETH. You can stake ETH with them, but they have these liquid vaults. This is more DeFi opportunity that's pretty easy. So here's, they have a USD vault, which is just stable coins, currently earning estimated APY 15%. Ethereum vault, 11% APY, which let's jump into that one. Yeah, it's 11% APY plus 5% in their ETHFi token as well. They just released this symbiotic vault, which is low, only 3% APY, but this is mainly for points for these airdrop campaigns that are going on right now. That's the main reason that they released that one. That being said, more opportunity here in this market neutral USD vault. Obviously right now EtherFi is doing their airdrop campaign. Even outside that though, 15% APY. You drop your tokens in here and you don't have to do nothing with them. I only have a little bit of cash in here because the rest of it is in Swell, but this is something that I am using myself. So I like Athena. I like using them. Excuse me. And I was going to show you one more protocol here, but I think that's just going to about wrap it up. Basically, you see the point here. There are a plethora of opportunities out there. You could be taking advantage of this right now to be earning yields, at least 10% APY, which you're not getting that at a bank. So your cash is just, and inflation is not 5%. It winds up being more than that. So, you can leave your dollars in the bank, or you can take them on chain with USDC, which is an S tier, fully regulated, door into the Federal Reserve stablecoin, premier stablecoin product, where then you can come on chain with that and expose yourself to much higher APY returns on some of your assets, and ultimately, put yourself in a better position where, this is basically what the banks can do. They're loaning out money left and right, creating money all the time. Now you can do something similar, earn a similar rate on your assets, and it's relatively safe, if you're using stable assets, or at least correlated assets. So that being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. I know this was kind of rapid fire. I ran through a bunch of different protocols, but I just wanted you to see what is out there, because there is a world of opportunity that you could be jumping into. So don't miss out on it, guys. I mean, obviously not financial advice, but me personally, 99.5% of my net worth is on chain, and it's not all being invested in crypto. I've got cash in DeFi, which is just my savings, and it's just there earning an APY. So you could do the same thing or not. You could just do it with a portion. But I want you guys to know that opportunity exists, so you could take advantage of it if you want to. Hope you got something out of this video today. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like on it. Really, would appreciate it. I'm a very small channel trying to grow, trying to make this thing work for me. If you're new to the channel, drop a subscribe. I'm looking to really get more content out there about DeFi, helping people understand DeFi, trading, charts, reading charts. There's lots more to come. So thank you for watching this video with me today, guys. See you tomorrow or in the next couple of days with another one.